Aku mau mau. Aku mau mau pa. E ho mai. E ho mai. E ho mai. E ho mai ka iki mai luna mai e. Ona mea huna no awe mele e ho mai. E ho mai. E ho mai. E ho mai ka iki mai luna mai. Ona mea huna no awe mele e ho mai. E ho mai. E ho mai. E ho mai ka iki mai luna mai. Ona mea huna no awe mele e. Hele hoi akala o mauka o kona. Hele hoi o makai, wherever you come from, kakai yaka. E koma mai. Good morning and welcome. Unity of Kona. What a blessed morning it is here in Kailua, Kona. And as we hold thoughts and prayers for the world in Maui, we'll continue in our service here this morning. As we start with the prayer chant, the Aomai prayer chant, asking the Great Spirit for the wisdom, done in 3 octaves, for the stories of life have different layers. First, the story told. Why would we be telling the story to the children? And then, of course, the deeper meaning. Why do we have these life experiences? Oh, beseeching the Great Spirit and our ancestors for the wisdom of the life experience with the knowledge we don't have to repeat them over and over again. And so it is fitting opening prayer chant. And for the moments that we share together, let's share a few moments of quiet, peace, silence, and thought and prayer for Maui. And as 2 or more are gathered, the prayers are tenfold. And our prayers, our heartfelt prayers and our tears, for the joy to come, for the people of Maui now an opportunity to rebuild better, grander than all that was lost, with the hopes and prayers of the world around them. Let's send it all to Maui. And so it is. Mahalo ke akua. Thank you, God, for the blessings of this day. And as we like to come together, I'd like to ask you please stand as we'll do our opening song, the Stand Together song. I'm sorry? Oh, that's right. Let's do our affirmation of the month as well as our vision and mission statement. Then we'll sing together. All right. Somebody stop me. It's that Jim Carrey line. So, with our affirmation for the month, we got the season of connection. Together, we'll do it. I joyfully embrace this season of connection, ohana, and unity. So it is. Here at Unity of Kona, we come together with a vision as a world family of oneness, peace, and love. With our mission to inspire spiritual growth and service through the active practice of love, prayer, faith, joy, and honoring everyone as a child of God. And so it is. Mahalo ke kua. Thank you, God. As we got everybody standing, let's sing together now. So if we have somebody who want to come up and join us, we appreciate it. Let's stand together. Okay, we'll let you go. More flowers. Thank you for the flowers. Here we go.
Something great is happening, love is taking hold and it won't let it go of us now. Something here is calling us forward, upward motion, we're drops in one ocean, roll on. Will you rise up with me today? Lift up your voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for. Live the dream of our highest calling, be the hope of the new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference, let's stand together. Share gifts for the world that's waiting for change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Ooh-oh. Every day's a chance you can do something amazing to feel your passion blazing and shine. Paint with every vision and dance in new directions. Explode to new heights in your mind. I will rise up with you today. Lift up my voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for. If a dream ever high is calling, be the hope of the new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share gifts to the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Ooh-oh-oh. One dream, one dream, one voice, one voice, one heart, one heart, one world, one world, one dream, one dream, one voice, one voice, one heart, one heart, one world. Stand together, one dream, stand, one voice, stand, one heart, stand, one world, stand together. Live a dream ever high is calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share gifts to the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Woohoo! While we're all standing, take a couple moments and greet your neighbor with a handshake or hug. If you're joining us online, please do leave a comment in the comment section. We're broadcasting live here on Facebook as well as YouTube and Twitch. So if you're joining us, leave those comments and we'll get back with you in a moment. What a joyous moment it becomes when we all get together. The heartfelt love and the sanctuary with the joy and the honoring of the life that we have and the moments that we get to share together. And so as Ohana, we welcome you to Unity of Kona. And if you're first time here, or maybe it's been a while since you've been here to Unity, please, we'd like to ask you to stand and a little bit share your name and where you're from. And so first timers, anybody? Here he is. Hey, Dave, aloha. Awesome. Friends of Church, and this is our Friendships month. So everybody's supposed to bring friends in this month. So we welcome you, Dave, and much aloha. And if you're joining us, please hang out for a little bit of refreshments after service. Joining us online, if you're leaving your comments, we'd like to share a great big aloha, and God bless you. Welcome. And as we move on into our service, it's my honor now I'll ask Shelley to come up and do our daily word. So thank you. Give her a round.
Good morning, everyone. Today's daily word for Sunday, August 13th is excitement. I am an active participant in this exciting life. Each new day, the sun rises on a world full of wonders. From the magnificence of the natural world to the many fascinating things there are to learn and the many displays of creativity that surround me, I can find so much to capture my interest and kindle my excitement. When I shrink from life, when my interest in exploration wanes, I can lose my zeal and passion. My involvement is the key. To regain my excitement, I become an active participant in life. I break out of uncomfortable habits and routines. I try new things and meet new people. If this is intimidating, I remind myself, God is everywhere and in everyone. As I explore, I am opening myself to more and more of the divine. And my interest grows, a bigger world awaits for me. Let everything that breathes praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Psalm 156. If you could join me together in saying Daily's Word, I am an active participant in this exciting life, and so it is.
Whoa, with hearts filled with joy and excitement, we'll move into a quieter moment as we get comfortable in your chairs, and we'll visualize the sanctuary. And as we take a deep breath, we'll just hold this breath for a moment, and as you exhale, release. In that exhale, feel the loving energy of those around you. And as you inhale, feel that loving energy moving in and through you. See the flowing through every person, every being on this earth and in this world. And as you inhale, hold any thoughts, concerns, and circumstances in your life in need of prayer. And then exhale them as we see them in the center of this most beautiful, loving heart, moving out to the world in thoughts and prayers. And as we come back into this moment, together, where we'll say the prayer for protection. For the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. And the presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. And so it is. Mahalo ke akua. Aloha, the breath of God. And now's the time in our service where we'll have some music with Dondi Nueva. Thank you, Dondi. Time, talent, treasures. And so amazing sharing his time.
You know, with so much going on, a lot of things are happening. And this song I picked because it's called Look for the Silver Lining. Because we need to look, not concentrate on the bad things. Let's concentrate on the silver lining. Look for the silver lining. Whenever a cloud appears in the blue, remember somewhere the sun is shining, and so the right thing to do is make it shine for you. A heart full of joy and gladness always banish sadness and strife. So always look for the silver lining and try to find the sunny side of life. Look for the silver lining whene'er a cloud appears in the blue. Remember somewhere the sun is shining, and so the right thing to do is make it shine for you. A heart full of joy and gladness will always banish sadness and strife. So always look for the silver lining and try to find the sunny side of life.
Thank you so much, Dondi. Absolutely. As we look for the blessings of the tragedies, we understand everything moves forward and becomes better than what we lost. So, well, now is the time in our service where we'll welcome our speaker for today. Our speaker, Sasha Knowles, has been an amazing member of the church here. Her mom was a minister for many, many years. And so Reverend Deb, we'll never forget her. And so she's spoken here before. Sasha was raised here in Unity, and so she's honor and a pleasure for me to be able to share some of what she believes is the ultimate connection to joy. So welcome, Sasha. Sasha.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm always so happy to be here, and it is such an honor to speak. That's how I feel every time I'm here. All my life, Sunday mornings have been coming to church of some kind, a unity service, whether I was, sometime it had been a part of my normal routine. It's a comforting space, a community of peeps on a spiritual path wanting to live their best lives. It's a place of connection, connecting to new and to old friends that I hadn't seen in so long. Do you feel the same about coming? I had a friend from the mainland from my Youth of Unity days that lives there. I've known her for over 30 years, and she reached out to see if I was okay for the fires. That's a lifelong connection. Have you had people from all over connecting with you as well to make sure you're okay? And you've just had this outpouring of connection and love. I worked at Windward Unity on Oahu when 9/11 happened. That week was the largest prayer group I had ever attended. We were all searching for a sense of connection in the sadness and the tragedy. We all turned to prayer, to God, and to each other. And much like we've experienced right here in the Hawaiian Islands this week, as the week unfolded and we saw images after images of the destruction, it was just so heartbreaking. And as prayer warriors here at Unity, and because we know the power of prayer, let's take a moment of prayer for the people in the land of Maui. Dear Father, Mother, God, we now surround all of Maui in a blanket of love, peace, and strength. We ask that all the people of Maui and the Hawaiian Islands are sent continuous support and love at this time. Thank you for providing all that is needed on this healing journey. Amen. My talk was titled The Ultimate Connection to Joy. We're talking about connection all this month here. And as the week went on, I was like, how am I going to talk about joyfulness and connecting to joy in such a tragic state that's happened this week? Then I started to see some beautiful stories of pure love and kindness that have unfolded in this tragedy. Stories of neighbors helping neighbors, of boat captains going back and rescuing people. And I know we're just going to keep hearing more. The outpouring of love and donations and contributions to help is just a wonderful, we're coming together, this connection, this community. And the world is coming to support Maui. It's truly about connection. I also found this week I can't continuously watch news, or if you scrolled on social media, seeing the different images, how did that make you feel? Sad. And what I came to as I kept asking for clear guidance, how to be guided in this? And in order to give back, and we had to take it back to the basics. We have to take care of ourselves so that we can then serve and help. So my original talk focused on these basics, which I think are nothing new. It's something we all know about, and I think that we can still use them even in a crisis. In fact, they might even be more important than ever to help raise our vibe and raise the vibe of everyone around so that we can fill our cup, and then we can share that with the world, and then we can be of best service and best way to serve. So what are these basics I'm talking about? They are so simple that they are overlooked. The first ones I have, I always want to point there, and the arrow. Technology. Yes. So these are just the basics. There's a ton of them. These are some of the basics that come to my mind and that help me to raise my vibe and raise and be in the best consciousness that I can possibly be. So the first are sleep. Nobody underestimates a good night of sleep and making sure that we are rested and filled so we can take care of all that comes our way. It seems so simple, but it's so powerful. What did you nourish your body with today? Did you drink enough water? I sound like my mama. Breath work. How often do you go through the day? Do any of you find yourself holding your breath and go, I just need to breathe? So let's do this together right now. Everybody put your hand on your heart and your stomach. And we're just going to take a big, deep breath in and exhale out. Let's do that again. Breathe in. Exhale out. One more time. Breathe in. Exhale out. How do you feel in your body right now in that moment after breathing? Calm. We have access to that all day long. I actually, I wasn't so sure if I wanted to have an Apple Watch, but I have a mindfulness clock, and it zaps me to breathe. It zaps me to remember to take a moment to breathe. And it actually will take a moment, and you could actually watch the colors on it if you wanted to. But I was like, and it can be. Sometimes it's happened in stressful moments. I was getting some stressful news, and it zapped me. And I was like, let's bring this to this moment right now. The power of breath. Of course, prayer and meditation. We often talk about our You Pray app here at Unity. And now it doesn't have to it can look like that, but meditation doesn't have to look like that. It can be a moving meditation. It can be on that You Pray app, there's always a 3-minute meditation that you can listen to. I've had stressful moments in my day that I've actually gone into the restroom and put that in my ears and took 3 minutes to listen to this meditation. It doesn't have to be, it's beautiful. I love having my quiet time like this too. But a meditation and prayer work can happen throughout the day. As often it's at access to us that we can access to bring our body back into center. And of course, this is one of my favorites, movement. Of course, dance is one of my things that I love to do, which you can just turn on the music and dance. That connects back into body. We could do yoga, walking, swimming. Okay, how's everyone feeling right now? You know, I always have us do something kind of interactive. How do you feel about standing up with me? If you feel like it, you can do it in your chair if you'd like. Oh, thank you. Thank you for jumping right up, Steve. If you feel like it, you can stay in your chair. You don't have to get up. But we're just going to combine breathing, and we're going to, exactly what he just did is what we're going to do. We're going to breathe. So I'm going to let go of the mic for just a moment. I'm just going to set it here. Did that take very long? How are you feeling in your body right now? Energized. I love it. Well, we have access to that. It doesn't have to be an hour-long class. It doesn't. It can be. I love to dance, so I love taking long times. I love going to the gym. I love moving my body. But we have access even in moments. It doesn't have to be long times. Thank you for joining with me. Affirmations, hey, we did that while we moved. Affirmations, and it can be, you can carve it out for yourself. You can, on that You Pray app that I was talking about, you can also, they have a whole scroll through. Sometimes if I'm just sitting there or in a line at a bank, I'll go through and read the different affirmations, and it just helps to calm my center. Or you can have your own. Everything is always working out for my best and highest good. That's one of my favorites, my go-to. I love what Louise Hay always would say as she'd walk into a room. She would say, I am beautiful and everybody loves me. And she would watch what would happen, whether someone would come and like hand her a glass of water or something would happen, but she emanated that beautiful energy. So affirmations are a go-to of mine. And positive community, which we're all here today, which is just lovely. Surrounding ourselves with people that love, that are like-minded, that care, that lift us up, whether we're walking or having coffee or right here on a Sunday morning with each other. Laughter. How often do we laugh? My youngest son just got his permit the last couple of weeks, so we've been driving. I've done this a few times before, but I forget every time. Actually, he's doing a really great job, but our routine has been, his other love has been going to the gym. So he's been practicing. We pick up his friend, and we go to the gym. Well, his friend is comical. He is always making a joke. Polu, why'd you turn that way? Or something. Like, he is making, I can't even emanate it, but I'm laughing the whole way to the gym because of the comments that he says. And I didn't realize how much I needed to laugh sometimes and the power of laughing. So I'm going to ask you to do one more thing with me. Maybe this sound might make you laugh too. Everybody's laughing. pure joy? Anytime you have access to that on YouTube. I found that on YouTube. I remember, I think my mom, probably from Cass, sent a laughing baby in years past. And that sound, it just is such a pure joy sound. How is everyone feeling now in your bodies? Giddy. I love it. We're just raising our vibe one moment at a time here. I have a silly story for you. I was debating. I was like, is it too juvenile? But I think it has a great meaning. So we're going to have fun with it. It's called the warm fuzzy story. It was a big thing when I was and maybe some of you might have heard it before. It's made its rounds in Unity for a long time. So long ago, only little people inhabited the earth. Most of them lived in a village of Swabby-Doo. And so they called themselves Swabby-Doo-Dahs. They were very happy little people and went about with broad smiles and cheery greetings for everybody. One of the things that Swabby-Doos liked best was to give out warm fuzzies to one another. Each of these little people carried an over-shoulder bag, which I brought. I picked my brightest bag I could find. And the bag was filled with warm fuzzies. So whenever two Swabby-Doo-Dahs would meet, each one would give each other a warm fuzzy. Now, it is a especially nice thing to give someone a warm fuzzy. It tells a person that they are special. It's a way of saying, I like you. And of course, it is very pleasing to have someone give you a warm fuzzy. When you have a warm fuzzy held out to you, when you take its warmth and fuzziness against your cheek and place it gently and lovingly in your fuzzy bag with all the others, it's just an extra nice. You feel noticed and appreciated when someone gives you a warm fuzzy. And you want to do something nice for them in return. The little people of Swabby-Doo love to give and get warm fuzzies, and their lives together were happy indeed. Sounds like how we all feeling kind of uplifted right now. We're sharing lovely energy. But of course, outside in the dark village, in a cold, dark cave, there lived a great gray troll. He didn't really like to live all by himself, and sometimes he was lonely. But he couldn't seem to get along with anyone else. And somehow he didn't enjoy exchanging warm fuzzies. He thought it was a lot of nonsense. One evening, the troll walked into town, and he was met by a kindly little Swabby-Doo-Dah. Hasn't this been a fine Swabby-Doo-Dah day? Said the little person with a smile. Here, have a warm fuzzy. This one's special. I saved it just for you, for I don't see you in town very often. The troll looked about to see if anyone was listening. Then he put his arm around the little Swabby-Doo-Dah and whispered in his ear, Hey, don't you know that if you give away all your warm fuzzies, one of these Swabby-Doo-Dah days, yours are going to run out? He noted the look of surprise and fear on the little man's face and then added, peering inside the fuzzy bag, right now I'd say you'd have about 217 warm fuzzies left. Better go easy handing them out. With that, the troll padded away with his big gray feet, leaving a very confused and unhappy Swabby-Doo-Dah standing there. Now, the troll knew that every one of the little people had an inexhaustible supply of warm fuzzies. He knew that as soon as you give a warm fuzzy to someone, another comes in its place, and that you can never run out of warm fuzzies in your whole life. He counted on the trusting nature of the Swabby-Doo-Dahs to believe his story, so he told his fib and went back to his cave to see what would happen. Well, it didn't take long. The first person to come along and greet the little Swabby-Doo-Dah was a fine friend of his, with whom he had exchanged many warm fuzzes before this little person was surprised to find that when his friend gave him a warm fuzzy, this time he received only a strange look. Then he was told to beware of running low on his supply of warm fuzzies, and his friend was suddenly gone. That Swabby-Doo-Dah told 3 others that same evening, I'm sorry, but no warm fuzzies for you. I've got to make sure that I don't run out. Does this sound familiar in life a little? One negative thought can. By the next day, the word had spread over the entire village. Everyone had suddenly begun to hoard the warm fuzzies. They still gave some away, but very carefully and only to a choice few. The little swabby doodahs began to watch each other with distrust and to hide their bags of warm fuzzies under their beds for protection at night. Quarrels broke out over who had the most warm fuzzies, and pretty soon people began to trade warm fuzzies for things instead of just giving them away. Figuring there's only so many warm fuzzies to go around, the mayor of Swabby Doo proclaimed the fuzzies a system of exchange, and before long, the people were haggling over how many warm fuzzies it cost to eat at someone's home or sleep at their house. There were even some instances of robberies of warm fuzzies, which was never heard of in this town. Some dark evenings the kind little Swabby Doodahs enjoyed for strolling in the parks and streets and greeting each other to exchange warm fuzzies. Now it wasn't even safe to be out and about. And now it started to affect their health. Many of them began to pain in their shoulders and their backs, and as times went on, little Swabby Doodahs became afflicted with a disease as a softening of a backbone. And this story goes on to talk about this. And at first, the troll was pleased with the results of his rumor. He had wanted to see whether the little people would feel and act as he did sometimes when he thought selfish thoughts. And so he felt successful with the way things were going. Now, when he went into town, he was no longer greeted with smiles and offerings of warm fuzzies. So even the negative thought liked having the positive. We'll talk about that in a minute. Instead, the little people looked at him as they looked at each other with suspicion, and he rather liked that. To him, that was just facing reality. Deep in his cave, the troll had discovered a secret mine of cold pricklies. He had spent many years digging these cold pricklies out of the mountain, for he liked their cold and prickly feel. And he loved to see his growing hoard of cold pricklies, to know that they were all his. But he decided to share them with the Swabby Doodahs. He filled hundreds of bags with cold pricklies and took them into the village. When the people saw the bags of cold pricklies, they were glad, and they received them gratefully. But now they had something to give one another, but they were just not as much fun as warm fuzzies, giving out these cold pricklies. It was kind of a funny feeling. You were just not sure what the giver meant after all. Cold pricklies were cold and prickly. It was nice to get something from another person, but it left you confused, and often with stung fingers. The usual thing that a Swabby Doo said when he received a warm fuzzy was, "Wow!" But when someone gave him a cold prickly, there was usually something but, ugh. Some of these little people went back to giving warm fuzzies, and of course, each time a warm fuzzy was given, it made the giver and receiver very joyful indeed. Perhaps it was just so unusual to get a warm fuzzy from someone when there were so many of those cold pricklies being exchanged. Some little people found that they could keep on giving warm fuzzies away without ever having their supply run out. But the art of giving warm fuzzies was not shared by many. Suspicion was still there in the minds of people of Swabby Doo. Probably every citizen of Swabby Doo would gladly have returned to the former days when the giving and getting of warm fuzzies had been so common. Sometimes a little person would resolve to go out and begin giving them, everyone freely as of old, until one day a stranger came to town. Apparently, he hadn't heard it was no longer the custom to give out warm fuzzies. He was a real friendly person with a warm, peaceful smile. He gave a warm fuzzy to everyone he met. In almost no time at all, he had quite a following. Seeing how much happier they felt with warm fuzzies being passed around, others soon readopted the old custom. All the citizens of Swabby Doo continued to pass out warm fuzzies and spread them all over the world till today. Which of these characters in this story do you identify with? Perhaps more than one. Do we often exhibit several of the behaviors in the story? Do you remember a time in your life when you were generous with yourself towards others for various reasons? Perhaps you heard some gossip or criticism or negativity and you began to withhold it and keep it to yourself and your good feelings. Maybe you grew up in a family where it wasn't safe to be generous or caring with people. Perhaps you've been treated poorly in the workplace or by a spouse or family member. Do you remember when you were little and you were naturally generous? It is truly our nature to be giving and loving. And so at the beginning, how I talked about getting it to the basics, when we are raising our vibe, filling our cup, we're able to spread and give our generosity, our kindness, our love easily and freely. It is up to us to change the way we think. Sometimes it just takes us to hear or to see someone or something with a different way of thinking or acting. It's about changing our perception. Like Wayne Dyer says, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And that's been really sticking with me this week. When we change the way, and I started to, I don't know if my algorithm, it felt like my Instagram just read my mind, and I started getting only positive feeds of the stories, the more stories I would read about the captain that saved it, the gentleman who helped this other family. And it's how we perceive things. Each character in this warm fuzzy story represents an aspect of our personality. The warm fuzzy swabby doodahs represent love, giving, generosity, kindness, and compassion. The troll represents the lonely gray side of life, the part of us that thinks we are less than everyone else. The bag represents the character we carry with us, whether we're giving or we're hoarding. And the stranger represents the unknowing part of us that knows only good. It is our God self that reminds us how it feels to give. In the end, it's always up to us to change the way we see the world, like we were just talking about. We get to choose what we believe and how it works for us. When you think of this story, their lives were working. They were happy. They were giving. Our nature is that of well. We heard that baby laughing, right? That's just ultimate joy, that laughing baby. But we can become troll-like when we stay too long alone in our darkness, in our negativity. And it's easy. There is so many distractions out there. And there is. And that looking for that silver lining, that was a perfect song, Dondi, that you could pick today. You know, that we could fill our feeds. We could fill our house, our reading, our minds with lots of negativity if we wanted to. Or we can choose to shift. And we can shift so that we can help serve. We can help give. Because I know when I'm in a place of love and giving, like those swabby doodahs, we can continue to give and love and share. And we might do it right here with that one person that changes that next person, that changes the next. Oh, and it just keeps going to the whole world. Soon we want others to feel as we do. We want to communicate and think what is real. We want to change. This is about placing the fear and doubts in our minds and our hearts, because it can also work the other way, can't it? Where we just place that one doubt in someone's mind, that one, and it can creep. So those are all why I take it back to the basics throughout the whole day in different ways. We can mix it up. It's really fun. Which way do you choose to live? Are we going to choose to raise our vibe? Are we going to choose every day? Add a little bit of movement in, take care of ourselves so we can take care of the world. And I do believe that's the ultimate connection to joy. It doesn't have to be grandiose. It can be little moments that add up to joy. Thank you for letting me share and be here today.
Thank you so much, Sasha. A little warm, fuzzy, joy, delight. And as we delight in life, like we were 5, the fuzzy doodahs work pretty well. God bless you, dear. What an amazing story. Thank you for your talk. And now's the time in our service where we'll do our gifts and offerings and do our offertory statement. Our ushers will come forward, and there are many ways to donate here to the church, some of which will be coming up on the screen. And so if you'd like to hold your gifts in your hands, we'll do the offertory prayer. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am abundantly prosperous in every way, and so it is. And now we have some more music with Dondi. Thank you, Dondi. See if you can bring some more joy into the room.
You know, this month is Bring a Friend. And so this song is You've Got a Friend in Me. You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles, miles off from a nice warm bed, you just remember what your old pal said. You've got a friend in me. 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 You've got troubles, and I got them too. There is anything I wouldn't do for you. If you stick together, we can see it through. 'Cause you've got a friend in me. Yeah, you've got a friend in me. Now some other folks might be a little bit smarter than I am, bigger and stronger too. Maybe, but none of them will ever love you the way I do. Just me and you as the years go by. Our friendship will never die. You're gonna see it's our destiny. You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. Yeah, you've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. Yeah, you've got a friend in me.
Oh, Hannah, thank you there, Dondi. Oh, man, what an amazing. I love this day. I'm so filled. I just feel like I'm bubbling over. I love these Sunday mornings. It gets me ready for the week. Now we have our gifts and offerings coming forward, so let's do our offertory blessing. For through Spirit we know that as we give, so shall we receive. We now get and consecrate these gifts to do your will and your work in this ministry, in our lives, in our community. And so it is. Thank you, God. Mahalo keakua. God bless us all. And now I have just a few announcements to move through. As first and foremost, we are a prayer ministry. And so as we all know, prayer works in our lives. When two or more are gathered, prayer request forms are in the back of the sanctuary. So please fill out a form, set it in the box. Our chaplain's praying over them here, sending them on to Silent Unity. They now have the Be Unity app, so you can download the Be Unity app on your phone, and you get instant connection to your prayer, 30 days of continuous prayers. Many affirmations, meditations are available through that. We send all our prayer requests on to Silent Unity for the power of prayers tenfold. And so 30 days. Well, my friends, next Sunday, our guest speaker will be Reverend Sophia. Her topic, the power of positive progressive community. And dive into the new thought principles of intentionally positive, open-minded, innovative thinking that equip individuals to create a community where positive change flourishes, dreams are realized, and lives are uplifted to new heights. Music next week will be Dondi. Just a couple more announcements. We have the Team Member of the Month, Virginia Holiday. Thank you, Virginia. And so, regular member here at the sanctuary, everybody knows Virginia. Your loving service and devotion to the church is truly welcome and honored. And as a prayer chaplain, a greeter, she and Doc recently donated numerous items to the spiritual center. So, Virginia, for your willingness to offer whatever support is needed and sharing your time and talent, we greatly appreciate you with a bright, shining light that you are to everyone. So, we are grateful for your aloha spirit, and we definitely love you. Thank you, Virginia. And so Dondi will host the community drop-in ukulele Kapila style jam session. I'm still wrapping my mouth around this language. It's excuse me for my mispronunciations. I do the best. Well, try.
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
That's okay.
Okay, so Kapila style jam session for beginners to experts on Monday, August 14th. So that's coming up just tomorrow, right? Yeah. At 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock here p.m. at the sanctuary. Bring your ukulele. There will be some available to use. Come learn and play and just share your joy of music. And so that happens here tomorrow at the sanctuary. Don't miss it. 6 o'clock, guys.
Let's have some fun.
Absolutely. And don't forget, bring your ooks. And just another reminder that evening self-healing meditation discovery hosted by Sean is this Tuesday, August 15th. And so from 6:30 to 7:30, everybody gathers for prayer, meditation, healing meditation. And so 6:30 Tuesday for the meditation with Sean. So thank you for Sean for putting this and making this available. We look forward to seeing everybody there. Unity will host another movie night. Oh, you really, another Jim Carrey movie coming on. And this is happening August 18th. So that will be the Friday. The doors will open at 6:30. Feature film, The Truman Show. This is when it started to get a little better for me. He showed he could actually act. So absolutely, it's a good movie. And it starts at 6:45 here. Please bring a friend. It's a Bring a Friend month. The movie will be free, and we will be selling individual bags of popcorn and as well as bottles of water. No outside food or drinks will be allowed in the sanctuary. But come and share the movies of The Truman Show. And so, feature coming this Friday, August 18th. Our August theme is embracing the season of connection, ohana, and community. And so we are encouraging you all to bring friends and join us each Sunday and help to grow the spiritual center. There are many invitations on the back table over there. So really cool are the little invitations. They fold in half, and there's a spot to put your name and the person you want to give it to, or just hand them out. Put it on the billboard. Share the love of the aloha of Kona. And so unity of Kona. So take some few of these invitations with you. Bring a friend next Sunday. Hope to see you. It'd be fun to have always new fun people here in Sanctuary. And so also there's I want to make sure everybody knows there's food upstairs. There's little snacks. I have a little fellowship after service. And as you know, it takes a village to run a spiritual center. So we appreciate everybody kindly considering offering your time, talent, and treasures. And so we are truly grateful. So many sign-up sheets in the back of the sanctuary for your consideration, and refreshments, sign-up sheets upstairs. So yeah, we're making it through, my friends. As we get ready to finish up the service, let's have everybody stand, make a circle right behind the front row. We'll do our closing songs. Let there be peace on earth and aloha oi. Excitement and joy. That's what it was all service about today. Excitement and joy.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow.
to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Don't forget your fuzzy wuzzies. You're going to pass them out through the week. We'll see you guys next week, and until then, we'll do Aloha Oi.
Aloha oi, aloha oi, eke ona ona no ikalipo. One fond embrace, ahoy, ayao, until we meet again.
As we say it, ahui ho, aloha. Thank you, everybody. A little closing music from Dondi, and don't forget refreshments upstairs.
I seem to hear the Pali calling me. I seem to hear the surf at Waikiki. And from Pacific Heights, I seem to see the lights of a city that is very dear to me. I seem to see the waving sugar cane, the cocoa palms all nodding in the rain. In fancy I am led back to dear old Diamond Head. Honolulu, I am coming back again. I seem to the Pali calling me. I seem to hear the surf at Waikiki. And from Pacific Heights, I seem to see the lights of a city that is very dear to me. I seem to see the waving sugar cane, the cocoa I am led back to dear old Diamond Head. Honolulu, I am coming back again. Honolulu, I am coming back again. Choo!